Now, another change in store for Saskatchewan wine lovers is, something that is going to be music to wine lovers' ears. Today, the government has said it will allow restaurants to offer bring your own wine to customers. This is known as Corkage, and it's already legal in 6 provinces, including Alberta and in Manitoba. Natalie McLean is a wine expert and writer. She says this is a very good move for wine lovers in Saskatchewan. And Natalie joins me now from Ottawa. Good afternoon, Natalie.
Hi, Craig.
Why do you think that bring your own wine is a great concept for restaurants in Saskatchewan?
I think it's a great concept both for restaurateurs and for wine lovers. For restaurateurs, I think it gives them another tool or way to serve their customers that I think is very valuable. So here in Ontario, what a lot of restaurants do is offer the BYOB service, say on a Sunday or Monday night when traffic is slowest, to encourage wine lovers to come out, bring that special bottle, and have a great meal with it. So it works both ways, I think. There are a lot of great bottles out there that you can't get on restaurant lists, or, you've been saving that special bottle for 10 years. There's no way a restaurant can afford to keep a wine that long in storage. It just ties up too much cash. So there's lots of great reasons to offer this service.
So just paint this picture for me. When I walk into a restaurant at some point in the future in Saskatchewan, carrying my own bottle of wine, what charges can I expect? What reception can I expect from the waiter? How does it all work?
Well, it could vary. I would expect it would vary by restaurant. So, again, here restaurants decide whether or not they want to even offer the service because it's legal but not mandatory, of course. Some choose to offer it on slow serve nights like Sunday, Monday, or maybe earlier in the evening, 5 to 7 p.m. or whatever, or full service all the time. So one of the things that I do advise people is call ahead and just make sure that they are offering the service. Are there any parameters and so on? And you'll feel more comfortable about it. When you arrive, you should expect that you are going to pay a corkage fee, and that's the cost, the fee to open the bottle and serve it, because the adage in the restaurant industry is that customers will eat you poor and drink you rich. And so a lot of the profit margin is in the drinks, not just the alcohol, but coffee, tea, water. And so the restaurant is still providing that full service, still has to pay for all their overheads, which are not covered generally by the food. So you're going to pay whatever it is, depends on the establishment, anywhere from $10 to sometimes even $30 if you're at a fancy place. Mm-hmm. But, that's an expected part of this.
So the $30 corkage fee is just, it goes to the restaurant, and that's to allow you the privilege of bringing in your own bottle of wine.
Exactly, because on a restaurant wine list, that bottle of wine would be marked up anywhere from 50 to 100% anyway. So you're not paying that. You're paying for the service, though, that is still a component of serving you that wine, but also just the total cost of your meal, much of which is in the drinks.
You said it's not mandatory, of course. So How many restaurants, generally speaking, take advantage of this and offer corkage?
I find here the restaurants, it might not be what you expect, but the restaurants with better wine lists do it because they're catering to a wine-loving crowd who have an interest in wines, have rare and special wines. That's another tip that I often say is don't bring a bottle that's already on the list. Try bringing one that the restaurant doesn't serve or an older vintage or whatever. It can make an anniversary dinner special, whatever you like. But that's what I find in general.
Of course, everybody likes to talk about tipping. What might be some of the right ways to tip when it comes to that corkage fee? Do you tip on it or not?
Yeah, don't be a cheese ball.
Yeah?
This isn't about saving $1.50. So just as there is a corkage fee for the service and so on, just the normal built-in price that would be in that bottle of wine, your server also depends on tips. Your server sommelier, depending on what kind of specialty staff they may have. And often they're paid minimum wage, and they depend on the tips for their living. And often the big part of the tip is the alcohol. So if you're doing 15, 20% or whatever you do on a normal basis, that's not going to be in your end bill there. It's just going to be that $20 fee. That's not the time to be cheesy about this. You want to think generally about what the cost of that wine was. There are limits, of course. Like if you're bringing a really astronomically priced wine, okay, You don't have to do a percentage, but consider that had you purchased a wine like it from the restaurant list, what would you be tipping at that point?
Natalie, thank you.
Absolutely. I've got lots of BYOB bottles you can bring at nataliemclean.com.
Thanks again.
Okay, Craig.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's wine writer Natalie McLean. She's from Ottawa. And again, we were just talking about the fact that one of the proposed changes is that you may be able to bring your own bottle of wine to a restaurant, should they permit it, and you just pay your corkage fee, which can range from very little to around $35 on the high end of the spectrum.